even though I just answered it.
You didn't
Look,
answer.
let me
The
just tell you,
USMCA has not even
excuse
passed
me,
Congress
excuse me,
yet,
you
sir.
ready? Are you ready? I just told you that we just made a trade deal, and we will take in billions and billions of dollars, far more than the cost of the wall. The wall is peanuts compared to what the value of this trade deal is to the United States.
Important to note that unlike Canada, which slapped retaliatory tariffs on U.S. Products right away, Mexico waited, perhaps to buy some time to see if an agreement could be reached in some way. And so, at the least, this has bought them something that Canada doesn't have, which is a 1-month exemption.
Boeing's big move to Mexico has Trump losing it. Is Boeing betraying America or just cutting costs to stay ahead of Airbus? Trump says it's a slap in the face to American workers, but Boeing warns this could backfire big time. Could a trade war be brewing? This showdown is about to get wild. First off, Trump's been loud and proud about his America First vibe since day one. He's all about keeping jobs in the U.S. and making sure American companies don't skip town. So, when Boeing, the massive company behind your 737s and fancy fighter jets, said, "Hey, we're thinking of moving some of our manufacturing to Mexico," Trump wasn't having it. He straight up threatened to slap a 200% tariff on Boeing's products if they dare to pack up and leave. And that's not a small fee. That's like doubling the price of everything Boeing sells. For example, a Boeing 737 cost about $100 million. A 200% tariff would jack that up to $300 million per plane. Airlines would freak out, and your plane tickets, oh, they'd touch the sky. Now, why's Boeing even thinking about Mexico? It's not because they hate America or anything wild like that. It's all about dollars and cents. Building planes is crazy expensive. Think billions of dollars in parts, workers, and factories. Mexico's right next door, and labor there is way cheaper. For instance, a factory worker in the U.S. might earn $30 an hour, while in Mexico it's more like $3 or $4. That's a huge savings when you're hiring thousands of people. Plus, Mexico's got trade deals with tons of countries, so Boeing could ship parts and planes around easier and cheaper. They're not trying to ditch the U.S. entirely, just shuffle some jobs south to keep costs down and stay competitive with rivals like Airbus, the European plane giant. But Trump sees this as a personal attack on his whole Make America Great Again plan. He's thinking about folks in places like Seattle, where Boeing's got a massive factory employing over 60,000 people. If even a chunk of those jobs moves to Mexico, that's a lot of families freaking out about paying bills. Back in 2016, Trump won over voters by promising to stop companies from running off overseas, and he's sticking to that promise like glue. He's basically saying, you move, you pay. Big time. That 200% tariff threat hits his way of flexing and showing he's serious about keeping American jobs American. Now, here comes Boeing CEO Dave Calhoun stepping into the ring like a champ. He's not backing down quietly. He fired back saying something like, "Hold up, Mr. President, this isn't as simple as you think." Dave's point is that building a plane isn't like making a sandwich in your kitchen. It's a global operation. A single Boeing 787 Dreamliner has parts from over 10 countries, wings from Japan, engines from the UK, electronics from France. Shutting that down with tariffs wouldn't just hurt Boeing, it'd mess up a whole web of companies and workers worldwide. Calhoun's worried that crazy high tariffs could make Boeing's planes too expensive, lose them customers, and, ironically, cost more U.S. jobs if the company starts tanking. Let's zoom out a bit. This fight's bigger than just Boeing and Trump. It's about how the U.S. fits into the world. Trump's crew says, we need to protect our own backyard. Jobs here matter most. They've got a point. Manufacturing jobs in the U.S. have dropped from 19 million in 1979 to about 13 million today, partly because of stuff moving overseas. But Boeing's like, we're in a global game. If we don't keep costs low, Airbus will eat our lunch. Airbus, by the way, builds planes in places like China and Alabama, so they're already playing the worldwide shuffle. What happens next could get messy. If Trump follows through with that 200% tariff, countries might hit back. Say Canada slaps a big tax on U.S. exports. Suddenly, your favorite American-made car or gadget gets pricier up north. Back in 2018, when Trump put tariffs on steel, countries like the EU fired back with taxes on stuff like Harley-Davidson bikes and Kentucky bourbon. Trade wars are like playground fights. Everyone ends up bruised. And for regular folks, higher prices at the store. A $500 TV could jump to $600. Ouch. On the flip side, if Boeing caves and keeps everything in the U.S., they might have to charge airlines more for planes. And guess who pays for that? Yep, you. When your summer flight to Florida costs an extra $50. Either way, this clash is a headache for Boeing's 140,000 employees and the millions of people who rely on affordable air travel. Now, why is Boeing even thinking about Mexico? It's not because they don't like America or want to cause trouble. It's all about saving money. Building a plane is a giant job. It needs tons of workers, machines, and parts. Down in Mexico, they can pay people less to do the work. Like a worker in the U.S. who might get $25 an hour, in Mexico, it's more like $3 an hour. That's a big difference. Boeing wants to keep their costs low so they can keep selling planes without losing to Airbus, their big competitor from Europe. Airbus is always trying to beat them, and Boeing's got to stay quick and smart to keep up. Moving some work to Mexico is their way of staying in the game. Trump, though, he's not okay with that plan at all. He's thinking about all the people who work for Boeing right here in the U.S., like in South Carolina, where they've got a big factory with thousands of workers putting planes together. If some of those jobs go to Mexico, the folks in South Carolina might not have work anymore. They'd be stressed about paying for things like food or their house. Trump's like, I promised I would protect American workers, and I'm sticking to it. That 200% tax he's talking about is his way of trying to scare Boeing into keeping all the jobs here. He's hoping they'll say, okay, fine, we won't move. But then there's Dave Calhoun, the guy who runs Boeing. He's not just sitting quietly. He's speaking up. He says to Trump, hold on a second, this isn't as easy as you think. Dave explains that making a plane isn't something you can do all in one place anymore. It is a big team effort with countries all over the world. For example, some plane seats might come from Germany, and the fancy electronics might come from South Korea. Boeing's idea to move some work to Mexico isn't about running away from America. It's about keeping their costs down so they can still make awesome planes and sell them. Dave's worried that if Trump puts that giant tax on their planes, they'll get too expensive. Airlines might say, nope, too much money, and buy from Airbus instead. And that could actually hurt Boeing and mean fewer jobs here, not more. This whole fight could cause some big problems, and not just for Boeing. If Trump goes ahead with that tax, other countries might get annoyed with us. They could say, fine, we'll tax your stuff too. Like maybe Mexico or Europe could make American things like jeans or apples cost more over there. And that would make shopping tougher for everyone. Boeing's a really important company. They've got huge deals worth billions of dollars. If they start losing customers because their planes cost too much, it could mess up a bunch of other businesses that help make parts or ship things. It's like a chain reaction. When one thing falls, others tumble too. Trump's got a lot of people who like what he's doing. There are folks out there who've seen jobs disappear from their towns, like how some places used to have big factories, but now they're empty. That's been happening for years, and it makes people nervous. Trump's saying, don't worry, I'm here to fix that. He's trying to be the hero for those who feel left out. On the other side, Dave Calhoun's saying, we've got to look at the big picture. He knows planes are built with help from all over the world, and he wants Boeing to keep being one of the best companies out there, not just stuck in one spot. This situation could change a lot of things down the road. Boeing's always working on cool new stuff like better engines or faster planes. They've got teams of smart people figuring out how to make flying even greater. But if Trump's tax makes everything uncertain, it could slow them down. Other companies might get worried too. They might not want to build new factories or hire more people if they think taxes could pop up out of nowhere. And for you and me, well, it could mean fewer flights to choose from or paying more, like an extra $20 just to fly somewhere for a weekend. That's no fun. Even the people who buy and sell stocks, the money experts, are watching this closely. When Trump starts talking about taxes like this, they get a little shaky. Boeing's a big deal to them, and if its value drops, it can make the whole stock market wiggle. Dave's trying to calm them down by saying, hey, we've got a good plan and we're sticking to it. Well, we all know trade policy is always a tricky subject. On one hand, protecting American jobs is important. On the other, imposing harsh tariffs can make things worse by increasing costs, limiting competition, and sparking tensions with trade partners. In today's global economy, manufacturing is a complex process that relies on suppliers from all over the world. For a company like Boeing, moving operations to different locations isn't about turning its back on American workers. It's about staying competitive in a market where efficiency and cost cutting are key to survival. This debate isn't just about Boeing. It's about the broader challenges businesses face in a fast-changing world. Many companies are trying to balance the need to keep costs low while also keeping production efficient. For Boeing, building parts in Mexico is a way to spread out risk, reduce expenses, and ensure smoother operations. The aerospace industry is already dealing with supply chain issues, rising material costs, and fierce global competition. Adding a massive tariff to the mix could make things even harder. Calhoun's response wasn't just about defending Boeing's decision. It was also about pushing back against policies that might hurt businesses in the long run. His argument is simple. If the government starts punishing companies for making smart business decisions, it could discourage investment and slow down economic growth. Instead of using tariffs as a weapon, many experts argue that the focus should be on creating a better environment for businesses to thrive, whether that means tax incentives, better infrastructure, or support for innovation. And for more such videos, please do subscribe to our channel.